everyone, and welcome to my weekly vlog. To anybody who has bought a house before, I just salute to you, man, because this has been like the biggest headache I have ever imagined. And you know what stinks is that when we first started, I was like, man, this is going so well. And foolishly, I thought that this was gonna stay that way all the way until the end. So sure enough, we have our closing scheduled for Thursday, and now there's like a million Chicken Little situations happening, and the sky is falling everywhere, and we can't, it's like, uh-oh, we can't do the closing now because of reasons. So the first thing that happened was our fault. We were told that the earnest money is included in the closing costs and down payment on the house. So we were like, great. We wrote the earnest money check out, sent it off, and we thought, good, we'll just mentally deduct that amount from whatever quote that we get for the closing costs. But as it turns out, they had already taken that closing cost out, and we were still like accountable for that money. So you know you are in the background. Oh my god. So yeah, as it turns out, they had already taken out that earnest money from the quote they had given us. So basically, like, the money that we were mentally deducting from our heads, we still owed. So what that triggered was a whole oh crap scenario where we needed to come up with this money that we didn't think we had to come up with, which was okay, we had it. We just kind of had it spread out in different places, and we had to get it all into one place. So we initiated that, and we thought, all right, no problem. Like, that's good. We can show that we have the money, just gotta scrape it together real fast, and there should be no more problems. So we put that aside. The next thing is I get a call from the people that we're using for our home insurance. So my rep calls me, he's like, all right, so the things that you need to bring to the closing are your statement of declaration or whatever, and your 1090. And I was like, got it. Done. What's the 1090? Is that a form? And he was like, oh no, the 1090 cash. I'm like, you better mean $10.90. And it turns out, no, it's $1,098. And so I tell my agent, I'm like, well, you can go ahead and let everybody know that this closing isn't happening because I'm just never gonna scrape that together. So I'm actually, like, I don't mean to make this a bummer, but I'm in my car, and I just like burst into tears. I pull over and just cry a river. Just thinking, like, how could it all fall apart this close to the end? Thankfully, a few minutes later, I got a call from my lending agent who let me know that that money for my home insurance had already been included in what they had quoted us. So thankfully, unlike the earnest money, this time they actually had already accounted for that amount of money in the closing costs, and it was not anything that we had to come up with, which was fabulous because otherwise I would not be getting a house. So I'm thinking, all well and good, things are going great. We're gonna do our walkthrough tomorrow, and then closing is on Thursday. What could be better than that? Today I get a bizarre phone call from my realtor who just sounds absolutely frantic, and this should have been a sign that she didn't have all her ducks in a row, because the first thing she said was, I heard your daughter isn't well. How is she? I don't have a daughter. It's like, oh yes you do. I heard though. I heard that your daughter isn't well. I don't know where you heard that from, but I don't have a daughter. I have a son, but he's well. And she actually says to me, like, no. But I heard from the lender that your daughter is sick. And I'm like, listen, lady, I don't care where you're getting this info from. I can guarantee you that I am a more credible source than she is. Just saying. So we have this weird, bizarre, I don't even know an adjective to describe this crazy conversation about my daughter that doesn't exist, but the next words out of her mouth are, your closing has been canceled, like it's not happening. And she goes on to tell me that because we were moving money into one account from a couple different accounts, that has put the kibosh on the whole thing, and closing isn't happening. So I tell her I don't understand, like, what on earth this could possibly mean. She says, well, okay, hang on. Let me call the lender back and let me find out if I can figure out where I went wrong. And I'm like, yeah, you do that. So I end up getting a call back from the lender, and she's like, I'm sorry about all of the confusion. There's no problem. We thought there was, but there's not one. Everything's good. So once again, I'm literally shaking, on the verge of tears, thinking that we're about to lose this house, and it all turns out it's fine. Except that about An hour after that, I get an email from the other lending agent, because there's like 7 different people who are working on this mortgage loan. I don't understand how they can even afford to pay this many people, but whatever. So she calls me and she's like, well, I'm looking at the accounts that were used to transfer money in for you to cover basically your closing costs, and I see one of them is a business called The Sensible Mama. What is that? I'm like, oh, that's my business. I own a business, and I told you about this up front. Well, they go on to tell me that they're pretty sure that the money that is transferred from my business account is not going to work. And guys, you know how I had said the prayer not too long ago about like, help me to always respond to people in the same way, like always cool-headed, always level-headed, always like Jesus. I did not do that this time. I won't say that I was a jerk, but I was not Jesus to this person either. I don't understand. I'm gonna be writing an apology email to our lending agent because it was inappropriate of me to, snarky is the word. I was snarky and there was no reason for it. You know, you can be professional and ask important questions and raise valid points without being a snark, and that was where I went wrong on that one, so I'm going to issue an apology. So anyways, guys, I was hoping that this week would be a vlog here at my parents' house, and next week would be a vlog from my new house, and you'll never see my old nasty kitchen from my apartment ever again, but now who knows? I don't know. I may have a new house at the end of this week. I may be homeless at the end of this week. It's a cliffhanger. Make sure you tune in next week to find out if Amber's homeless. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that your week is going better than mine. Love you guys. Mean it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.